I can't say which season is beautiful. Spring's beautiful when everything's waking up to life. Summer's beautiful at flowering time. Autumn colours are extremely beautiful. The forest's beautiful at every time of year. In the beginning was the forest, and the Galindians. Or, to put it more exactly, the Galindian wildwood, for that was the name given to the adjoining lands which now belong to the Nowe Ramuki Forest Authority. Apart from those untamed warriors, hardly anyone dared to settle there. Nobody attempted to civilize them, so the inhabitants of Olsztyn could sleep in peace. No potential invader risked traversing those unknown forests of dark repute. It's the twilight of the 18th century, and the then ruler of Prussia, Frederick II the Great, decides to bring the forests of Prussia and Lithuania under legal regulation. On the 3rd of December 1775 AD, Frederick gives the edict the royal seal of approval. The forest gains a service title, is given a name, and the first office is established. Ramuk begins its long history. The lands of the Olsztyn Forestry Inspectorate, 1867. Head forester Justus Erdmann Samuel Ulrich Motzfeldt begins what will be his life's main work. In the Ramuk forest, so-called nests are created, clumps of young trees some dozen meters in radius and covering about 12 ars. As part of his experiments, Motzfeldt introduces various species of tree. From that time, we already have an inventory of some 300 hectares of forest. It's a valuable experiment in natural history terms, and we take care of it. Now we can be proud of some very fine specimens growing on our lands. The predominant species are oak, lime, fir and beech. However, Motzfeldt experiments further. A great innovation for those times was an attempt to establish foreign tree species. Thus, in the dense Warmian forest, there are to this day clusters of North American Douglas fir. The first of these was planted in about 1870. At present, they're about 140 to 150 years old. They're really magnificent specimens. Their girth and height are well in excess of those of our native trees, such as pines, growing near them. However, they are alien species to this terrain. The majesty of the Douglas firs takes your breath away. 40-meter-tall colossi, the living memorial to the craftsmanship of Justus Motzfeldt. In another part of the forest district is another dendrological surprise, the giant tuya. We usually imagine tuyas as bushes growing in gardens, but thanks to Motzfeldt's experiments, ours here are about 30 meters tall. Luckily, it's not that easy to find them, and let it stay that way. When a tree is turned into timber, its quality becomes the most important thing. The whole Nowe Ramuki area is regarded as a base for production of very good timber, especially pine, but also oak. Our oaks and pines are considered to be among the best quality trees growing in Poland. For centuries, the destiny of a tree has been determined by woodmen. The modern people of the forest have become operators of multifunctional machinery, which can reach a selected tree and deal with it in literally several dozen seconds. In the Ramuki forests too, the 21st century lumberjack or harvester has made its appearance. This machine fells, lops off the branches, cuts to the length required by the operator, and places the trunk so as to make the load much more operator-friendly. Very difficult and physically hard work is already increasingly being replaced by harvesters. We save time and also the whole environment, since we avoid damaging the forest floor thanks to these methods. Doesn't such rapid handling of trees mean that their exploitation is proceeding too fast? More and more often one hears it said that Poland's forests are shrinking. For some years now we've been felling less than we've been planting. Over past years, about 50% of annual growth in the forest was extracted, now about 70%. But even so, this is to the benefit of the remaining tree mass in the forests. Here there are also areas where nature reigns supreme. All that man can do here is observe discreetly. This is the area where nature rules, the Varmien Forest Reserve.